Honestly, I don't think fighting is the best course of action.
No, probably.
Honestly, I'm going. Well, so it's the middle of the night. I didn't expect attack, so my weapons would be still in my room. Yeah. So I'm gonna raise my hands because I don't want them to be aggressive. Because I still have faith that we can talk our way through this. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Ulog has faith we can talk our way through this.
You said the innkeeper is there.
Can Nestri ask to go look at the body? We're all up now, right? What if he's not dead? What if I can still help him? I have medicine training.
Why? Does the mayor have a habit of being here at 2 or 3 in the morning?
The only thing I have is society. I don't know if that applies.
I think society is more for like navigating about town.
Yeah. In that case, I have a +0 to diplomacy.
Look, if the mayor came here, it was probably for a reason. And maybe someone attacked him outside and he collapsed in here. He could, Nestri's right, it could well be just, if he is bleeding out as we speak. It'd be worth a check, surely.
Could I do a perception check to see if there's blood or anything?
Oh, definitely. Right now, I'm also using the lovely tools of just letting it hover, so to speak. Time is more or less stuck in those few moments. Come on, clock. Tick. Don't know why in Pathfinder I have to manually turn the clock on. Not even pausing, unpausing, fix it. Glancing around with an 8. Indeed, you don't see anything. There's the body laying on the wood before you.
Yeah, well, I'm waiting for the guards at this point because I'm just not going to try.
Look, the guards won't blame anyone here for us making sure to at least double checking that he is dead.
Expired?
I mean, yeah. How would it be if how would it look if he was alive just now, and then they bled out as soon as they got here, and we could have been saving him instead of standing around here talking about it? Just let her try. Let her try.
You can try diplomacy to try to convince him. He has no trust for the group of you at the moment, mostly for one, but that extends to the other 4 as well. with a 21 as you're scanning them. Just let him try. Just let him try. He could be dying right now. They'd give a slow nod of their head while keeping the light and said, all right, well, don't try nothing fancy. I got my eye on you, outsiders.
Alright. You do realise that we need your help, so this would be counterproductive to everything we've been trying to do.
Nestry runs over really quick and does a medicine check to see if she can figure out if he's dead and what killed him.
And of course, the bartender.
Or, I don't know if that's the same check. Sorry, I don't know. I shouldn't jump to conclusions.
He's saying, people don't make sense. Believe me on this, buddy. I have no idea what goes through people's heads or why they do what they want to do. Maybe this was all part of some master deep plan that you had. I don't know. Go ahead and give me that medicine check for, Nestry. I think it would be medicine. I'm going to double check.
Yeah, feel free to check. I know it would be in D&D, but I don't want to assume that it would be the same here.
Up yours, Microsoft. 3 times I tried to open Google while inside Edge, and 3 times it redirected me.
Yeah, you would use medicine to make a recall knowledge. You can use this to perform forensic examinations if you spend 10 minutes or more as determined by the GM, such as checking for evidence such as wind patterns.
3 times I tried to open up the archives of Nethys from Google. 3 times Edge is like, do you want to go back to Bing? I'm like, 3 times I told Bing, go. Oh, but thank you, Dean. I was hoping it would be the recall knowledge side of things there. I always keep, at all times, my handy-dandy list of skills, and I know they'll put in a whole bunch of crap for these, like administer first aid, recall knowledge, treat disease, treat poison, treat wounds, and wisdom. So, you go ahead and roll that medicine check as you take a quick look. You've got maybe half a minute, though, before those guards get, so the amount of information you can get going to be limited, which also implies the check might be harder.
Okay. I was just wondering if my continual recovery thing helped at all. I have a thing, dubious knowledge. Trade in a skill with the recall knowledge action. Your treasure trove of information, but not all that comes from reputable sources. When you fail, but not critically fail, a recall knowledge check using any skill, you learn a bit of true knowledge and a bit of erroneous knowledge, but you don't have any way to differentiate. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same one that Dean has. I just figured I should read it out loud because it's probably going to apply here. Alright, I'm rolling now. Just wanted to make sure I knew all my stuff before I rolled.
So many little pieces with Pathfinder. I'm happy the math is
That's pretty decent
for us. Well, you got an 18. As you crouch down and start to examine the body, like I said earlier, you didn't see anything on the ground. No large volumes of blood. And for someone who's been stabbed viciously in the heart and had their throat slit, you would imagine to see a lot more blood splatter in the area. More importantly, those brief instances as you're finishing checking the body as quick as you can, as the guards are opening the door and stepping in, one discovery you make one that would be startling for the information. But you only get half a moment before the guard steps right up towards Ulok and says, "You there! Fuck you!" And just... Sorry. I had to. If you, John, did you see the video I posted?
I did. Hence why I said rude.
Just up. No, they come in. They've got weapons drawn immediately, looking around. As Nestry is just finishing looking at the body. Well, the one's crouching down to put a hand on its shoulder. The other one is immediately drawing weapons, of course, against Ulog. As he say, "You there! What the hell did you do?" But Nestry, the information that you've gained from a really skilled medical examination in half a second is very important. Sure, they're dead. And there wouldn't have been a goddamn thing you could have done to help them. Given that they've been dead for more than a couple days.
Interesting. But we were talking to him earlier today, right?
Indeed, you were. Weren't you?
Okay, I am quiet, and I'll just step back and let the guards do their thing. But please don't arrest my friend. I'm very, very confident that he had nothing to do with this.
I've not heard of many assassins who do it in their pajamas. Let's be honest here.
There should be blood. There's no blood anywhere here.
You're all
Look at
making these
look at his
arguments,
wounds.
calling for his defense and information like that. Probably as he's being led out the door with shackles on his hands.
And there's nothing we can do to like try to stop them.
No,
I
not
don't
at
want
this
to be
point.
That
It's
guy,
bait.
dungeon master, and make it look like I'm ruining it for one party member. So don't worry, I am not. But I do need to get a quick drink. Give me 1 second, because I took a bite of sandwich and it's going down super slow.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, like at this point, like they're gonna take me and they're gonna process, and then we can have a chat later. Like right
Yeah.
now.
Okay. Just
Right
know
now,
that
it makes
Nestri.
no sense to do this.
Just know that Nestri tried.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
That's better. I'm like reaching to the side for my glass of water. I pick it up and it's like, oh no, I've remained too well hydrated today. It's gone. Always remain hydrated. That's my only rule. So, indeed, as you're following along, saying, but there's no blood on the ground. Everything's dead. The guards are just saying, you probably cleaned it up. Well, come on, he's in his jammies and all that. And they look back. He's an orc. You think he's going to have any trouble tearing the head or off someone or cutting their throat with his bare fangs? You know. The
Things
very...
don't look that shape.
Well, that's the thing. Your character's like, I'm starting to get a little offended here. They're making insinuations against me that may not be necessarily true. Of course, you get one of them look you dead in the eyes. Yeah, what's your wisdom mod and intelligence mods? And you're like, hey, now you're fighting against my character sheet. That's meta. You're not supposed to. Well, despite the pleadings and the actions of the characters, of course, one of you, John's character, has been taken to the local guard post. And the group of you were not allowed in with him. Now, being a big, tall, powerful orc. Actually, I should double check your character's height. What is that? You got 6.5, 5'9"? 5'9".
I
Being
rolled
bulky.
it randomly, so yeah.
With lots of strength. Your character is not the tallest. So they don't have too much trouble getting you where you need to go. And you're very cooperative, as you've mentioned. And overall, they don't have any random things that they're looking to ask you or to deal with. They bring you in, and they're treating you fairly poorly, however, looking down their nose and not giving you much. Questions go unanswered. They simply tell you, wait. They take you, pop you in a cell, take your information, and you remain there. Until about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna say 10:30 because, you know, I clicked the button one too many times, but that's destiny for you. A little bit of random onto the good. And I'm sure...
Just a little point of order before you get too far. Nestri would have told them told the rest of the party what she found once the guards were gone and they were like in their room and quiet and stuff.
Making the rest of the team
to the companions. Yeah, exactly.
It's like that body's been dead a few days.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. I just know what I saw and I'm feeling really confident about it.
Well, that's unusual.
It is.
Just something to throw out to you, Alan. I just remembered is that I like the vaccine. I'm not that smart. So I think I put in the chat log that I could have had an additional language this whole time.
Yes, you had mentioned.
But we did establish in the story that the vaccine didn't know Elvish, which makes sense because he grew up in a cult. So if there is a language you think would be fun for him to have based on growing up in a cult, we could say that he speaks that.
Ooh, take something real negative.
Real negative. Infernal?
It's probably going to be the same. I'm almost tempted to say like necro, so you're like ghouls and intelligent undead, or shadow tongue, or if you want to go with something real crazy off the get-go. Let me see here.
Alright, right, I'll have a... Yeah, just whatever you think. I
thought you drew
thought
it. And of all, you know what? It's supposed to be a secret language, and I know in 5e we hate people who aren't druids speaking it, but I don't recall reading that up in Pathfinder.
Oh no, you can lose being a druid in Pathfinder if you teach someone else druidic.
Oh, is that how it works?
I think it's a big no-no. It's like one of the classes anathemas. So that would be quite funny. Just walking along going, I think they're cultists, and it's like some druids stalking around a tree.
So a druid that lost their druidic right would have been a cultist member and taught you all how to speak druidic if you want that for a language. Because if you want to talk dirty bad cultists, like that's right, you're writing the book yourself right there, right off the get-go. It's like it's the most thing you would never do as a druid. I'm like, so if you were an evil cultist.
Yep, it's right there in an anathema, teaching the druidic language to non-druids. Okay, perfect.
The reason I was laughing at it was because your last character was a druid.
Yeah.
And you know what though? I'm gonna stick with what I always have done for druidic language. It's the Celtic tongue still.
Hello, Kevin Hashev.
First person looks towards you at the door, and you know what they say, Al-Bukmaha. Who taught you? Come here. Come here. I'm gonna beat the druidic out of you. You ain't saying those words of ours again.
I get forced into taking a druid archetype, and my wisdom's too low.
Oh gosh.
We don't care. If you know the language, you're a goddamn druid.
Amazing.
You just walk up to a pile, there's like 50 of them there, you hold up a hand, come to how? And they all just glaring at you like, what the fuck? That better be the only thing you know how to say. Oh, that's gonna get some trouble later. I love it. The little pieces. Well, hours go by, and John...
Speaking of trouble.
Yep. Your character has been mostly just processed. Not creating trouble and not messing around. Even the other thieves and lowlives in there wouldn't give you too much issue while you're behind in bars. Now, it's the wee hours, around 10:30, 10:40, where the group of you, or however many of you would still be at the jailhouse, would find a rather pompous individual. Because anytime you get someone who's an inquisitor, they generally look pompous. Coming out to take a look towards the group, cleaning out one ear, as one of you may have been shouting, may have been saying, come on, this isn't fair, this is wrong, you gotta help us do process, blah blah blah, or whatever it may be. She'd come out to see the group of you. And she definitely does not look like someone who'd normally take shit off someone else's back. A rather deep glare to her eyes, long red hair pooling down her back, a crossbow tied deftly to one hip and a fierce-looking sword across the other, arms folded firmly across her chest as she looks towards the group and says, you lot, get in here, now.
Better listen.
She's bad enough. The other guards don't seem to travel with her, but it is not too long before the group of you will be led inside. Mostly because no one actually likes having their character in jail while everybody else is out of jail. It's literally the dungeon master saying, you're not allowed to play right now. And that's...
You're on it last week.
You're on a timeout.
Yep. Like if John wasn't here this week, and this is where we left off last week, it'd be perfect. I'd just be like, he's still in jail, go do other shit. That option doesn't necessarily come up too much. Now, as the group of you are making it in, you'd notice as well there's a number of guards who do fill in, cutting off escape and exit to the main guard barracks. It's not much of anything too crazy, but you know what, let's go ahead. Switch the map over. To generic.
You do not own it.
There we go. Just gets the group of you to a spot that they'd normally be handling. John, your character Ulag, well, you've been back in a cell for a while, so I'm going to throw you in one just so we got you in one. I mean, if we got it, at least show it off. But, truth be told, you'd already have people grabbing you, coming to catch up on you. Opening up the door and basically saying, alright, come here you. As you're being let out, still in manacles, mind you, you get a very strong sense of distrust. But the Inquisitor would take a seat at the one lone desk in this room, covered in papers and scraps. As she looks back towards the rest of the group of you, and you'd notice, looking through this room, that there are no other chairs. Just the one at the high-profile desk you'd find yourself sitting at, standing in front of. She sets down a slow seat in it, drumming her fingers very slowly on the table. You ever hear of an open and shut case? She would muse out towards the party in general.
Yes, but only briefly. Case opens and shuts.
She is glaring at you. You can tell.
Nestri elbows him. Stop it.
I thought it might cut the tension. My mistake. Okay.
Deacon just looks confused at his remark. It's like, what?
That was a clever dad joke, and she definitely got the dad joke because of the way she's glaring at you. But she stops drumming her fingers, points at one towards you, and gives a nod of her head and adds, "Our mayor was just murdered not 5 hours ago. And we're gonna have joke time now." Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for him.
She gives a nod as she drums her fingers. And says, I say, an open and shut case. Because it's fairly simple. We found a murder victim, and we found one singular person at the scene of the crime. The only thing we didn't catch was them red-handed, and I have to say, I find that somewhat perplexing. Why is there no blood across the orc's body is the question I've been asking my people since 3 in the morning, but no one wants to give me a goddamn answer. So unfortunately, your friend's been assigned for the gallows. We've got about 3 days before we hang them. Like I said, it's an open and shut case.
Hi, I'm Nestria Lanthwin. May I speak to my friend's defense?
She'd give a shake of her head at that one. Say there's not much point. If you want to, by all means, I'm sure you've got 1,000 reasons. You've had hours to think up a plan if you're lying through your teeth. And if you are telling the truth, you're going to be desperate in anything you're going to bring forth to me in information. Neither of which is going to help me when you haven't had enough rest to know the difference of what's going on. Like I said, this is an open and shut case. This isn't even my decision. I'm just the unfortunate sap who's been assigned the good duty of telling all of you that your friend is going to be hung in 3 days. But like I said, I find it very strange, for a neck wound, that there is no blood on your friend's hands.
Or anywhere? If you check the inn, you'll see he wasn't killed there. In fact, he wasn't even killed last night. I've taken some medical training in school. I'm no expert, but I've seen a few things, but I don't know why, and I don't know how. But you can ask anybody, any of your experts. The mayor's been dead for days.
She gives a nod of her head to that. And says, "Yup, I'm certain you're probably right. Most assuredly. LeCorp had already gone through the facts of rigor mortis and exited out of them, so it's definitely been at least 3 for that unwavering corpse. Or at least, that's what I told Thompson. But they just shuffled that report to the bottom of the pile and noted that your friend would be hung today at noon for the crime of killing our mayor."
Today? I thought you said we had 3 days.
Yes, You do have 3 days, she says with a nod, as she takes a moment to bring up a rather large cigar that she pops into her mouth. 3 days is all I could get you. That's it. Any more of an extension beyond that, and they wouldn't give it to me. Because like I said, I find it very strange. All these little pieces seem slightly too convenient, and no one's listening. Thankfully, bureaucracy makes it easy enough to control these things. Mind you, my hands are tied. This is an open-shut case. You've already been declared guilty by a magistrate not 2 hours prior. So unless there's some irrefutable proof, well, your friend's as good as dead.
I have a question.
She looks towards you and says, in a rather effective tone, I've got ears.
I was wondering, and I was going to ask the innkeeper before all the guards came, but it's been playing on my mind. So, the mayor asked us to fix the windmill, but the windmill was intentionally destroyed, seemingly out of spite by the person who left it.
Yeah, she was a cranky witch.
Would him getting that fixed have drawn anyone's ire? Would that have negatively impacted someone?
She pauses for a moment as she brings her hand up and gives the jaw a very slow rub as if thinking it over, before she gives a slow shake of her head. No, that was most assuredly our strongest form of commerce. We used it greatly for our own gains to help us get through the winters easier, and traded with much of what it was made. I don't know a single person in this town, besides our former resident, who would want to see damage come to it, and if you were repairing it, well...
You seem like a really smart lady. What motivation do you think my friend could have possibly had? What's your working theory?
She looks back towards you slowly as she lifts up her brow, her head tilting a little bit towards one side. Oh, you assume I pointed fingers at him? No. I said he was innocent. They just didn't believe me.
There's no proceedings that we need to follow here?
Small town, I'm afraid. Quick to jump to conclusions, rash to set their rules. I've spent many years hammering my fist down to stop people from jumping to these conclusions, but sadly, even I can't go against the will of the many. Like I said, you get your 3 days.
So, the sticking point for us, really, is that, well, we were talking to the mayor earlier in the day when he was killed, which would be impossible if the body's several days dead.
Indeed. They're saying you used some dark magic to pull it off in such a heinous action. As we all saw the mayor earlier that day, so any thought of him being dead longer than that is presently viewed as impossible. People see with their eyes, as one likes to say, not so much with any other part. What seems illogical.
There's no magic here. How?
Oh.
How could that have happened?
We have no magic. But you're outsiders. Fear is a horrible thing. Then it'd be around this moment you'd also see a couple of guards leading Ulog in, presently in chains. As she looks over towards them and gives a nod and then looks back directly at Deacon this time. And she points a finger at you. You said he was your brother or half-brother, right?
Yes, it was a really heartbreaking Well, heartwarming scene when they reunited after several years, isn't that right, Deacon? And he nudges him.
Yes, such a heartwarming reunion.
For people who have hearts.
She's got the brow up, mind you. She goes, yes, well, far be it for us to keep family apart. When one of them won't be in this world any longer, I'll need your signature here, in triplicate here, and on a secondary form at the end here, as she flips through a few pages, to notarize that you will be having full control over this individual as we relinquish them to your custody for 3 days. Now, let me be absolutely clear. In 3 days' time, if Ulog isn't here to be hung, well, we have a caravan of guards around your caravan. And I'm sure they'll find a way to balance the scales. I don't see it ending well for anybody in this scenario. But like I said, and you see they're actually unlocking Ulog. I'm assuming, of course, the Deacon's gonna go ahead and sign off on all those documents.
Yeah, he's gonna sign them, just being very confused as he does so, like, half-brother, what is going on? He doesn't say that out loud, though. That's in his head.
Now, see, as your character's flipping through all these sheets, you can see she set it up so that you're family. And since you're family, you have the right to take them for as long as you can be their jailer. Essentially, instead of keeping them in jail, you keep them with family when the crime has capital punishment. A kindness, it would seem, or a loophole in this scenario. Either way, despite her brash attitude, as you can see, her name, signed at one point, but you're probably not 100% certain how to pronounce such a thing, as she slammed it down onto the documents as well. And she'll also look towards Ulog with a nod as she says, I hope they gave you breakfast at the very least. We don't treat our prisoners badly. It's not good for the town's morale.
If that's not badly, I don't want to see what you guys consider badly.
She laughs, points outside to the stocks, and says that's about a 5-6 out of 10 on the bad sector. I got an Iron Maiden down in the basement if you want to check it out. Big smile crosses her face.
Ulog will give a little chuckle and a nod. I like this one.
Thing is, for those of you with your passive skills and passive senses, your insights and your perceptions being a little bit high, you can tell she's not joking.
Oh shit.
I wouldn't suspect it. She would be, honestly.
This badass
I'd be more
Inquisitor.
surprised if she was joking. Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Just to confirm, though, they're not Spanish, right?
No.
Perfect, because we did expect them to come.
No, yes. But they were already here.
If they were Spanish, you wouldn't have expected them.
Exactly. That's why I had to make sure that they weren't Spanish.
Of course.
I actually think the name I used is Russian African descent. I try to mix it up and make them a little more fun when I'm making badasses when I can.
Like, it's like, is it Sanya? Is that his name from Dresden Files?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nosifo Miklet.
Just out of curiosity, if you were going to hide a body in town for a few days, where would you do it? The necropolis? There was a lot of open slots there.
Indeed, she gives as an ad as she pulls out a quill pen. Your question doesn't seem to faze her, though. Maybe your own inquisitive nature is enough to trigger her to not immediately suspect you for having such a question. And she says, indeed, we do have a lot of open spaces in that mausoleum. Took us some time to get them cleaned up, but we did have a few people die a month ago when we got raided. And we haven't yet had the opportunity to set them to rest. That'll probably be in about 2 weeks, once we finish dealing with the bodies, you know, embalming and all that sort of good stuff. Personally, not the side of the equation I deal with. I'll send them there, but I'm not the one to take care of them once they're there. You know what I mean? She pats the sword on her head.
Be Elise's job, right?
Indeed, she knows what she's doing. It's good head on her shoulders. Spoke highly of the group of you, in fact, when I was talking with her yesterday morning while we were having some drinks. Didn't think I'd be seeing you in my office so soon, but hey, here we are.
Well, I'm glad someone thinks highly of us.
She gives a nod at that one as she continues to write a little bit with the quill pen, and you hear her mutter very lightly under her breath. Yeah, that's why I didn't assume you're guilty too.
Did the mayor have any enemies? The innkeeper seemed to suggest that he was regarded as a hero.
Yep. Only lived here for probably about, I think about a year or two. I didn't pay too much attention to these things, but when we did get raided a month ago, he was basically single-handed in helping to defend and repel it in the right place at the right time. Managed to stop a line before they were able to make it down. We all managed to reinforce, push the enemies out, but he went down a hero overnight.
And how does an outsider like that get selected as mayor?
Well, you know, saving a bunch of people from getting killed by bandits, that's enough to sway public opinion. Helps that he's also an elf. You know, if you look the part at least. And as she tips her hat back, you see human ears. As she nods, for the rest of us, it's a bit of an uphill fight in this town. Mind you, you'd question who the hell would tell her off in this town at this point.
Sorry.
Was there anyone else who wanted to be mayor? Any rivals?
She brings a thumb up and points it right at her own chest. Just thumbs herself a little bit. I was gonna bring some law and order to this otherwise fickle and flight-filled town of a place, but I'll admit, after seeing him in action and throwing away what he did, he had my vote too.
Okay. Did he have any family?
None at all. He was alone in this town.
Anyone in town been acting differently?
Well, nothing too specific. It's been business as usual, one might say. I'm sure once this news breaks, which is going to be any minute now, things are going to get a little wild.
Where did the mayor live?
Oh, they had a nice little house that we'd set up for him. Now, this isn't a mayor's abode or anything of the sort like that. They haven't seen much work, but they would have been moved into the Blue Manor house that we have here. That would be the mayor's main abode, but it's been vacant for the last couple months since no one's been in it.
Where was he staying then, if no one was
pauses for a moment, looks towards the group of you, then hitches her thumb out the window in the direction from whence you came. Oh, he was staying at the lakeside, same as the rest of you. Had a nice, comfortable room set up for himself there and everything.
That's strange.
Didn't the barkeep say she wasn't sure why he was there?
Oh, I thought you meant like why were they up and about at 3 in the morning?
Oh, I could be wrong.
The vaccine will assume that he would live elsewhere. He didn't know that he lived there, so it makes sense that they could.
Settled enough to have permanent lodgings, but he did have a regular room at the inn, where he's been there for about a year now, and they were processing to get him moved over to the Blue Manor House, the main place for the mayor, but it's been mostly vacant, and those plans, well, they're out the window now.
Right, okay. Is there,
what about the magistrate? Because they were pretty quick to convict our friend.
She gives a nod on that one. Says indeed. They were very fast to convict your friend. Don't much like orcs in this town. Couple years ago, we got hit hard by them repeatedly. They did some serious damage to us. In fact, that caravan that you've got sitting outside, people have just been looking for an excuse. And now they have one. I'm afraid it wouldn't take much to prove your guilt, if you know what I mean, as she wiggles a brow at Ulag at that one.
Right. Has there been any other visitors to town recently?
No, we very rarely get visitors anymore. A lot of them don't come this way. We're so very close to the wastes. We don't see people stretching out this far. You're the first, in fact, to come for quite a long time. I will be honest, I was somewhat excited at the fact that we would have economic prosper in this town with your caravan traveling through. I'd say we're in desperate need of money, but money doesn't go as far as it used to anymore. But basic supplies, things you can't get locally here. Do you know how goddamn long it's been since I've eaten a blueberry? She brings her hand up and rubs between her eyes for a brief moment, lets out a sigh, shakes her head. No. No, unfortunately, my friend, you're an orc. This town does not take kindly to yours. Not for years. I'm afraid you had that against you from the get-go.
Right. Is there anywhere we should avoid on these 3 days? Like, we don't want to cause any trouble, obviously. So, where would a fight automatically start?
At that, she'd lean back and give the big press she does, giving her head a shake. Oh, I don't know. You might want to just keep your heads down. Once this news breaks, some point today, I don't think anyone's going to be too happy to see any of you. If there's fights breaking out and if the guards have to step in as well, you're outsiders. As much as I'd love to say we treat you fairly and we'd show you a wonderful time and treat you with all due process, you can presently see how well due process is working for you all.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
She finishes signing off on paper, rolls it up in the scroll, and passes it to one of the other guards standing nearby, who gives her a salute and starts walking. She makes the ad. Now, once again, I will remind you, you have 3 days before Ulag needs to be here at midday for his hanging. Wish I could have got you a couple more days, but
The time you gave us is most appreciated.
And she gives a nod and says a little louder, "Of course, certainly, for you and your brother. I would hate to see a family torn apart in such a horrible time."
Deacon just nods along, pretending he understands the situation.
Though, she will lean in, firmly grabbing Deacon by the upper arm as she does, as she whispers just loud enough for you to make out and the other party members to hear the whisper. "Just don't let me down. I would rather not have egg on my face, if you're proven to be liars."
Deacon will meet her stare and nod with confidence.
So, we're in a situation where the xenophobic nature of the town, or perhaps something more, has pinned this on the orc, who seem to be in far too comfortable of a situation. But as I am saying this and doing a small recap, why don't you all give me a recall knowledge check for lore? Because there was a hint. I did drop some extra info a little while ago. Quite some time ago. Different session. And I'm wondering if anyone's going to remember it. That's why I like the recall knowledge on the lore. Because that's about as close as I get to history, you know what I mean?
Would that be for like society, or what are we? Like, what's the recall knowledge under? Because you can roll it for each skill.
Oh, yeah,
I think.
I kind of just said lore out loud on that one.
Like, I've got lore. I think it's because there's different lores, like lore.
I got lore warfare.
Lore,
Does that
esoteric?
one work?
Yeah.
Lore Daddy.
I'll
I
be
have
honest.
no
Sorry,
lore.
what did you say?
That was for Dean. I don't know if he got the reference though.
All I heard was just randomly lore daddy.
I don't think Dean got the reference.
No, I do recognize it. I just can't place it.
To choose your own adventure.
Yep.
Lauren,
It's
and
mad
Daddy.
odd.
Yep.
You know, because there's no real recall knowledge for history that you just recently saw, the closest one that I can get to this, because I said lore, because the brain kicked off for half a second. It's like, do a lore check. It's like, which lore? Dungeon Master, that's a very small listing of things for a very big amount of crap. I'm like, for your knowledge check that you're going to want to run with on this one, I'm going to have to tip the hat for Jillian. You've said it a few times throughout the campaign. But for this, to see if you can remember the local history, important personalities, legal institutions, social structure, humanoid cultures, and all that sort of crap, and major elements of society, or maybe just things you've seen in passing, the history of what you've already seen, give me a society check.
Okay.
Now, I say Jillian specifically because you're the one who's brought that one up, but...
I did mention that, yeah, true.
Yep.
I still only have a +2, but I will try.
I
Hey,
remember nothing.
Log's
It's better than-
I didn't get a full fucking night's sleep. This is hard, guys.
Remember, Dean and I have... Oh, it was almost a 15. Dean and I have dubious knowledge. Remember.
Yep.
Can
Now,
anyone make
that
this
seems-
check?
Yep.
Dubious. No.
This is literally just
So-
your characters rubbing their chin like, I remember something's a little off here. Something's a little out.
So, it seems stretching it, but I could roll with my esoteric lore with a -2 penalty check to recall knowledge. It would give me a bigger number.
The master
But-
bullshitter.
Yeah, but even that feels. I mean, as written, yeah, it would work, but I feel like it's a bit of a stretch. So I'll leave that in your hands.
Oh,
My feat diverse lore says I can recall knowledge on any topic, but just where this is more memory than like of like a random bit of book I read at some point. I'm not sure if I should or not, so I think it's your call on where you want me to roll.
For that esoteric lore, if I'm reading it correct though, where it's a special one for using the recall knowledge, but it has to be regarding haunts, curses, and creatures of any type, right?
I'm trying to figure out where there we go. I've got this feat that lets me.
Oh, right. You have the special to spread out beyond just those three. So yeah, you can literally pull any bullcrap.
Yeah.
Random bullshit generator. Go.
But
I mean, it's a core testament to your class that you've got a good memory, so it would make a bit of sense.
So I'm leaving it to you just because I don't know if it kind of fits, but also
you can give it a roll. I mean, it's core to your character what they do.
All right. Okay. Now let's see if I can. There we go.
Should I way into it?
I was more seeing if I could just remember to put the actual circumstance penalty on it, which
not.
I think I got.
So, the vaccine's giving its chin a rub.
Oh, that's actually a 14. I put in the -2. I don't. You need to add.
Oh, I get you.
Okay. Right. I was so close.
As you're wondering, it's like, I'm sure I've heard something from somebody for something or other about this being with orcs, and why is that an important thing? However, Deacon with an 18 on this one will remember a spike in conversation. Remember when you were talking with the mayor, when everyone walked up and you first had a chat with them? Do you remember when he clasped the orc on the shoulders and said, "An orc! Oh, that will do perfectly. Come with me." And they started walking and talking.
Okay.
I think I remember just vaguely.
The blood thickens.
Deacon, remembering that, will share that information with the party quietly.
Was that Ulag he did that with, or was it the other orc?
It was Ulag. Or was it Ulag? No, it was the other orc.
Yeah.
It was the other orc. The other half orc, actually. They weren't even full.
Somebody's sowing discord.
And it's not the server, but
Yay.
Yeah, the mayor seemed overly interested in chilling with the half orc. Now,
Garrick.
With that,
that's his name.
Yep. If we stretch things back a little bit, you might be able to say, oh, maybe Garrett would have been the one who would be in jail while the team was dealing with this sort of stuff, but, well, John, you weren't here, so I had you stub your toe.
I'm just going to BRB right quick.
Oh, yeah. Actually, did we all want to take a quick 10-minute break?
Sure, I'll go grab a beverage, I think.
Alright. We're at about that half-seas point. The team needs to decide what they're going to be doing and how they might look into handling this, but thanks to a rather kind inquisitor, go figure, you've got 3 days. So we'll take a quick pause here and we'll be back in 10 minutes. Enough time to refresh drinks, that sort of stuff.
Alright. See you in a bit, guys.
So as we kick back in after a nice comfy break, I left you all in a lurch. It would seem an inquisitor who, at first, looked like they're about to nail you to the wall, turns out to be the only friend you've got in this town, or at least among the guards. Everyone else having painted your orc companion, much like many others that they've seen, ruthless, vicious, raiding monsters. But you've got 3 days. Do you think in 3 days we can save Oolong?
Nope.
I mean,
well,
admittedly, I wish we were like a session back because it would work perfect. where John's going to be out for a few weeks, would say Ulag's in jail.
Oh yeah, no, I'm a little sad that didn't happen. Just so we're clear,
The exact perfect workout for it, right?
right? Like it would have been actually amazing.
Might have to. At this point, it might be limited to, oh no, we can't let you leave the town if something like that should come up. But we'll figure it out. Honestly, I slapped you as the one person who got stuck with it because you weren't here. And I was like, this works. This works well. But
Silver lining, if we can't prove Ulag's innocence, it will solve the problem of only having one spell scroll.
It will. You're right. I'm glad my death can do something good for you.
Well, you know,
I was
these
a
situations...
little worried that I would die in vain, but if it heals you, well, I think we count that as a win.
Well, you know what they say, you got to have a little bit of gallows humor in these situations.
I'm glad my death will bring you joy.
I will be inconsolable if it happens.
Which it won't.
I'm pretty confident we figured out how to fix the ancient arcane windmill. We can find the whoever did this. I don't know if they're a necromancer or someone who has disguised themselves as a mayor or someone who could like puppet the mayor's body, but you know, sure we can find that.
you'd hear the Inquisitor.
Just wants to fail so that way, like, when I actually go, we show how not inconsolable you are. You'll be like, oh no, he's dead. Better take my medicine. Glub, glub, glub.
Actually, it's not medicine, it's a scroll, and we're hoping I can trick it into letting me cast the spell.
Pretty much.
Mind you, half the time Phoenix is squinting over looking through the scroll. They're like, this looks like a typo. I'm missing some words here. Can I even cast this thing? Will anybody be able to cast this thing? Damn it.
I can.
An attempt can be made. But if the scroll itself has issues or problems, then
Yeah.
you may have to look at the person who wrote it, but she doesn't have any magic at her disposal. Mind you, that's if it comes to that. The team's only slightly poked at those scrolls because when they saw it only solved half their problems, well, backburner.
Yeah. I could not in good conscience say John would be fine with this. Don't worry about it. I know John.
Imagine that they all show up this week instead, John.
You could have, and I would have been.
Cured.
I couldn't do that. That would be too. That would be too much.
To be fair, if it honestly did come down to it, I would let you have it. I would just have to make a new character. Oh no.
Well, it won't come to that. We'll figure it out.
We'll see. But first we need to find out how not to get myself hung before.
Exactly.
Help me level up so I can learn the levitate spell?
So, I was thinking,
Poor D can be like,
Never a
level
good
up.
chance of the day.
if the mayor was staying at the Lakeside Inn, where we were, we could probably have a look around his room. See if we can find any clues.
Some of us will have to distract to make sure no one finds us, however, as we're not exactly going to be welcome in around certain areas.
That's true. I think that area being the town, according to our Inquisitor friend. Yeah, we'll just maybe stick to the. We'll stay off the main roads, I think. I think they'll wear cloaks, but then a big group of people wearing cloaks probably isn't very inconspicuous.
Not to mention, most of us are taller than the rest of the town.
That's true.
Speak for yourself.
Well, he wasn't. He's short too.
I'll pat your head.
I'm taller than John's character. Yes. It's like the opposite of real life. In real life, I am quite tall. I tower above most, and I look like, haha, check this out. And the rest of you all fucking stand a full head over me. Some bullshit. Except Jillian, don't get me wrong. Jillian, average height, yes.
That's okay. I'm short. It's fine. I've come to terms with it.
Well, you know, if people are making fun of you for being short, that what they're really saying is the only problem with you is that there's not enough of you.
Are you sure you're short though? I thought you were just about average. Dean's friggin' tall.
No, I'm 5'1".
Oh, fair. I don't know. It's hard to catch because it's like the offset in the height is so drastic.
I should send a picture to Jameson of me and Dean.
You know, it'd be a good picture is that one of us at the escape room.
Was it? Do you mean the? Oh, wait, when we went as a group, or?
Yeah, because then we're all in a line, like height-wise.
Yeah, it's pretty comical, honestly.
Why not?
I'll see if I can find it. Carry on.
We need to do that again. That was fun.
My hair was so fluffy. That was like right after COVID and all that shit. I hadn't got a haircut in so long. I'm like pulling out strands of hair like, goddamn, I could be from the 60s here. I normally keep it a bit trim. It's a little more comfy that way and doesn't let you overheat. But I digress. That was fun. We should do another escape room once they move some. Because they are going to the new location. We could all show up and be like, Courtney, help us to get this one. Because we didn't...
Is Courtney still there? I thought she'd come to the section.
No, she is.
Oh, okay.
I think she took a little leave time for herself because, I mean, we're all human, for God's sakes.
Speak for yourself.
Well, man, I don't know if I can classify. Trust me, the way the mathematics work in the brain, I start going like 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1024, 2048, 4096. Once I get up to like, 512, 5.12 on the millions, the calculations then start switching over to pi, and it's like 3.141592653589793233846264333802. I can do some root equations like 8660. That's a good one. Alright, that's enough numbers. Some poor person's gonna be watching this recording someday, get to that point and be like, that poor why did he ever... Because I won a beer bet and I got a 2-4 for memorizing that much pi. Thank you very much. That's the only reason. You don't need pi past like 5 decimals. It's that specific.
Worth it.
Totally worth it, man. I got so drunk. Me and 3 guys. It was awesome. It was like back in 05, but it was awesome.
Back in my day.
Oh, geez. That was technically still after my day. Goddamn.
On a note of pi, for the song White and Nerdy by Weird Al, he only shows half of what he claims. He claims he knows pi to 1,000 places, but he only shows 500 on the screen.
Oh, fair. I wouldn't actually be surprised if Weird Al knows pi to 500. He's a unique individual.
He's a weird guy.
Clever businessman. I'll tip my hat to that. Still, the whole Eminem thing that went for him. Eminem's like, yeah, you can remix my song. Sweet. Studio says, no. He goes, well, I'm fucking do it anyway. Oh, alrighty. So, at the moment, you are as free as a caged bird.
It went through in pictures in case anyone's curious.
Oh, I'm gonna take a look. That was a while ago now. Oh, that's right. Oh my shit. Okay, I almost forgot. I went to lean in so all the group of us were all together for the picture. I hit that goddamn fire hydrant. I almost dropped it on the floor. I caught it, shoved it right back up in place, and got into the position for the picture just in time.
Perfect.
Which is why I got that dorky look on my face, like, oh shit.
I didn't break it. What are you talking about?
Yep, that was it. I was expecting it to drop any second, so the left hand was ready to go. Oh goodness. Oh goodness, hair so fluffy. My hair, that is. The rest of y'all don't count.
I don't know. My beard was fluffier than all your hair.
I forgot Kieran's hair is that long. Still that long?
No, I got it cut.
Damn, that's a lot of work.
This is like there were still lockdowns for COVID when we did that. I think.
I think so. Jesus, that was a bit ago.
That was the day you told us that Sandy was pregnant.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow, that was awesome. I gotta get that picture now.
I just thought it'd be honest with me. Does my forehead always look like that big?
Yes.
You're tall, man. Don't worry about it. It's symmetrical for the rest of your facial design. You're fine.
Honestly, though, that's actually not true because you used to have Jesus hair. So
now that you're in the middle of a murder mystery, you've got 3 days to make your way through the town. And as of this day, very few people besides the innkeeper and the guards would actually know that the mayor is dead. You needed an opportunity to creep around. Now might be your only time. If you're looking to do any investigation or any looky-looing or anything like that. I mean, alternately, you could just get out of Dodge and leave town, but that caravan, well, they'd suffer the consequences. That's right, the DM's done the unthinkable. He's taken your NPC companions and used them against you. Lulu would be mad at me.
Sorry, you say the unthinkable, but that's a kind of par for the course for you.
Well,
You're on mute, Jillian.
I know, I'm sorry. It wasn't that important. I was just saying abandoning the caravan doesn't seem like something we would do.
No. And John totally pointing it out. It's like, you like to put us in these catch-22 situations. I'm like, yes, I do.
You do.
Sometimes you all catch them as they're coming, and you're like, nope, not today, Alan, and I'm so proud in those moments. But then it's like, now I must plan something different on the fly before anybody figures out that they caught me.
or you just go, oh, he's out? Well, let's just conveniently make him in this place.
Yeah. Half the trick is rolling with the punches. Oh, yeah.
The punches? That's not even rolling with the punches. It's like making a movie and be like, okay, you're going to swing here and I'm going to dodge and uppercut you.
Yep. So if you want to talk about times where the party decides, we're going to flip the script on its head, forget that. Evil Flux shows up. She's like, I will kill you all. And the team's like, we're going to use Dominate Magic and take control out of her. And you just ace the rolls and I bomb mine. And it's like, there you go. Evil Flux is now Good Flux's assistant. Perfect example of gotta roll with the punches quick.
Just close the door.
Drop the there's another one pulling one on you. Drop the meteor on top, one demon totally burnt, look completely injured. Everyone's like, that poor demon. It's really like, haha, I'm the bad guy in disguise. Mwahaha. Like, oh, the little pieces. So, that in mind, there's a lot of little pieces in this town. Any investigation to be done?
My instinct is, and feel free to tell me that that's a stupid idea, I'm not the best at investigations.
Don't do it, Joe.
But is to check the mayor's room and then check out the house that was set aside from him. I don't know why.
Well, we gotta find out why he wasn't moved in yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes sense to me. My question is, like, I cannot go back to the inn. That just sounds like it's going to cause us more trouble than it's worth. Should we split the party?
Dean hates doing that.
I know.
Most dangerous of terms.
I know. There's a reason I said it that way.
Normally I'd say, this isn't Cursus Strahd. You should be safe inside of a town. But the whole world's post-apocalyptic, and this town has been raided in the past. Safety is never guaranteed anymore in this world.
Come now. What can it hurt to split the party?
The main issue would be I'm pretty sure because I'm the one who has to be keeping an eye on you. That would mean we have to stick together. So the marshal armored tanks would have to split away from the rest.
Very true.
From
Yep.
the rest of the squishies.
Really good point.
You're right. You're right. So you and I versus them. See who can investigate better.
Yeah, sure. Let's give it a shot.
Oh god. I'm gonna see Phoenix just slowly rising an eyebrow, looking at you two like, okay. I point to Dan's character because.
Oops, sorry.
Just because.
I'm pretty sure he's the only one who would actually. Sorry, I think he and Jillian are the only ones with bonuses to like intelligence.
If I have a bonus to intelligence, it is negligible, I'm sure.
Okay. Okay. I didn't.
Or what
I didn't
it's
think
worth.
I didn't think you did, but you are some sort of caster, so I wasn't sure.
You're
Well-
intelligence based.
Deacon
Am
and
I?
Mastery both have a 2.
I thought.
On top,
Oh,
but
Ah,
Phoenix got a
okay.
4. Everyone else is a 0.
Yeah. So you're like a. I guess you're like a half caster. You're like a spell blade. So you're like
Yeah.
you need a physical stat and a intelligence stat.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. See, like that's what I thought, right? Like.
Mm-hmm.
I think,
Sorry.
Wait,
That's just me not knowing my character.
No,
Sorry.
to be fair, originally I was going to say Dan, but I was like, no, wait, she's a caster of some sort. I think she has intelligence.
So
the dumb boys in this crowd are me and you, John. We're both 10.
Yeah.
the other 3s are 12s or 2s and a 4. Try to use just the mods now that they switched to it, but it's really hard to get used to it. I like my odd
yeah.
numbers. So,
Dean,
the 2 of you go in one and the other 3 go in another.
do you have a USB-C charger in your office? Or do I have to go upstairs?
I have ATC.
May I borrow it till the end of the session and then I will charge my headset properly?
Sure.
Oh, do you
Thank
have
you.
if you have the Switch charger down there, that should work.
Yeah, but it's all hooked up to the...
Oh,
It would be easier if
Buried
Dean had a
cable.
little one. Yeah, it's not completely buried. Like, it would just take longer for me to untangle
TVs and
than I can terribly bother with right now.
that's fair.
valid. All right.
I see the headphones docked in the Switch dock somehow.
Thank you.
Yeah. So.
So we
Do-
wanted to split the party from what I'm seeing here. 3 of you, I believe, 3
Oh,
of you
yeah.
heading towards the inn, and 2 of you heading towards the Blue Manor House.
I actually think that's a bad idea because especially where I'm going to be in the group of 2, considering we have like 9 minutes. Like in hindsight, that
What we could do is we could head to the Blue Manor House first, and then if it like no one's there because it's allegedly empty, we could then have Ulag hide there while we go over to the inn. If that would work.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit better with the time limit and the narrative, maybe.
Yeah, that
I mean-
would work.
It might be the last thing they suspect. Surely he wouldn't hide in the dead mayor's house.
Oh, goodness.
Wouldn't that look very suspicious if anyone found him there?
What are they going to do? Condemn him to death?
Ulag would just whip out the sword. He's like, I can be found innocent because we found you alive. Double Jeopardy says I can't be charged with the same murder twice. As you kill them down, you just see a lawyer pop up. Only if you're convicted, and you're like, oh shit.
But he
Yeah.
has been convicted already.
Sure he has.
Sentenced,
Condemned him to
yeah.
death, yep. Mind you,
I
that's, this small town would be like, you're still guilty.
Yeah.
Pull up
Yeah,
that
so
Linkin
maybe
Park
that-
song,
maybe-
guilty all the same.
Maybe that's the plan. It's like if we go there, if it's all above board, well, hide in the basement or something.
Beautiful looking.
But that wouldn't be above board.
Ooh. I mean, you did set him up for that.
No, that was good. I like that.
Next time we all play together, I'm just gonna bring a 2x4 with me, a big one. I'm just gonna wait for a moment. I'm gonna say, "Hey John, I'm gonna beam you aboard," and he'll be like, "What?" And I'll just biff it at him. And be like, "That's for that pun."
Are you saying you're bored with my puns?
Oh boy.
Oh,
Fun
my
update,
word.
you guys. My headset is actually mini USB, not USB-C. So if I drop out randomly,
See, I've got one of them.
Oh god.
I didn't know.
You know it.
That's a
I
little
haven't
rough.
charged it in so long. I'm so sorry.
That's why we're in this problem to begin with.
You know, I got the oddest USB connector on a set of Sennheiser headphones I have. I've only ever had one other device that used the same connector, and it was a cheap
I'm
device
sorry.
for the
Thank you.
3DS. If I lose
What?
that cable,
Oh,
I
you
can
want
never
it.
charge them. I love those little headphones. I've had them for so long, and they still work. They're the most reliable piece of audio equipment I own, next to my speakers. But I don't want to blow my windows out, so they don't get used very much. So, the Blue Manor House, as it's known as. Now, I do have your tokens on the map, and I got it shifted over. And as you approach this area, it's quiet. Besides a few guards and a gardener, who's just at the moment planting those beautiful red flowers you see on either side, who'd give you the casual wave, you know, the "oh hi," as they go back to their work half a moment later. But the building itself very stately, 2 stories, and in amazing condition. The front door also isn't locked. None of the doors in this beautiful building are locked. It's very quiet, and besides a small bit of smoke rising from the chimney to keep it warm, it is for the most part empty inside. But you can feel free to move your tokens all across the map on this one to check it out. It's a pretty map, don't get me wrong. I just slapped us on here so we'd have something to work with, right?
Got that new house smell.
If it was such a thing, you could smell the Mr. Clean on the floor in this place. Beautifully done. Very well kept, with a set of stairs leading up to a second level. This first level with a grand entrance, beautiful tiled floor beneath your feet. Numerous other standard things that you'd see
So-
in the area.
I just rolled in and then I stopped and thought, should we have knocked?
As you just pop that door right open like, oh, it's not locked. Gardner sort of looks
Big-
towards you, gives the eye squint, goes back to work. No one seems to care.
Okay.
So fortunately, though you probably should have knocked because it's the polite thing to do for anyone listening to this recording, definitely knock before you open someone's door. It doesn't seem like there was any negatives here. The place very quiet, very empty. In fact, the only thing you can hear inside of this home is the continual tick, tick, ticking of an stately, large grandfather clock. On the far wall in the entrance, for what Deacon would be looking near a door, there's also standard beautiful pictures set across the walls here, a full standing suit of decorative armor by a stove, and numerous other rooms on this first floor for the comfort of the guests who'd stay here. At the moment, you're in the main halls of this area. The floor immaculately clean, not even an inch of dust to be found, as they take pride in their work, it would seem.
So why didn't he move in before now? Let's go upstairs and check.
You're on
Should we
mute
search
again,
some of the
Joe.
rooms down here first?
I'm like halfway up the stairs when you say that. You guys got that. I believe in you.
Well, fair enough.
Well, second floor is a whole different experience on a separate map. So we'll worry about the first floor as the team's checking that one out. Ulog's jumping upstairs to the second. We'll get to that one in a minute. As Deacon pops over towards a rather comfortable set-up sitting room with an ornate teapot set on a marble slab in the middle of it, along with some various other implements, comfortable couches, and, for the most part, an empty room. You imagine some good meetings could be held here if it was ever used.
As Deacon enters the room, all he could think of to himself is, "We have 3 days. There's no time to knock."
Now, I'm also opening the door to the back patio here, because the door itself is glass, stained glass that you can see through. The backyard, very beautifully designed with some nice shrubbery and a statue in the middle, along with a small seating pond on the far eastern side. Slightly out the edge of your view, but you can pop your token out there to take a look if you want, by all means. As you're glancing about this area, the Vaxian has found the most important room. The crapper.
The kitchen.
It's very in keeping with me as a person that I would stumble into this room first.
It's a shitty place to find.
Actually, this time it isn't, because it's unused and very clean. Haha. Ha.
Well, now you're making my jokes go down the toilet.
Again, the toilet is empty.
No, they're not. My jokes are down there. Were you not?
Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. But the other most important room Deacon would be coming up to next as you're powdering around. A kitchen before you as you're popping that door. A large wheel of cheese set on the table, but those generally won't go bad anytime soon. Well kept and well preserved in this area. Along with another door that would lead to a well outside, so that they have their own water on source. Now, you might be noticing there's a couple areas that are still blank on the map, like well over here and well over here. They're only accessible from outside. You've got your standard horse and cart carriage holding zone on the left, and on the right, generic storage. The only remaining room, the large stately room here, which, through the front door as Deacon walks, has an elegantly appointed table. And that's really about it for what's there. No people to be found, no servants puttering around. The place kept in grand condition. But as for your second floor, as Ulog makes their way up their solo, you'd find yourself on a very large open area. Another set of stairs leading back down to the first floor, where your allies are presently stated. But for yourself here on the second floor, you see a very large painting on either wall to the east and to the west of the town being formed and founded. Of how many centuries ago you wouldn't even know, but the pictures themselves are well worn. Along with numerous doors leading to numerous areas around you. The first one you've opened has revealed a bed chamber. This one with a large 4-poster bed, easily above king size, its own warm furnace, a chest at the foot of a writing desk, and a smaller desk for getting work done to be found inside of this one.
The chest, is it unlocked or is it locked?
Well, you can check.
I am going to.
Alrighty, as you do, get ready to roll for initiative because it's a mimic and you get stuck to it. I'm just shitting you. It's unlocked and empty. I only get a couple
Sorry,
of those.
You didn't go roll for initiative, so I knew it.
I said it at the end.
Yeah, no, you would have started it.
All depends. So, chest is unlocked. You definitely can pop that thing open.
Alright, which I do.
And not only is it unlocked, it's empty. Nothing to be found inside of it.
Kind of
nary
silly,
a
but
peep.
I will then close it. Anything on the desks themselves?
Blank. Kept in pristine condition, very clean and very crisp. But nothing that stands out as you drift fingers across the top.
Another room here.
Of course, a long hallway and another room with another hallway. This room opening up so that you can see little more than a bed and another chest here. This one with a large padlock on it.
Alright, well, I can't open padlock, so I will.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Nestry's fingers twitch and she doesn't know why. Huh.
And the two rooms I've been in, these storage rooms, have the crates been movable? Are they full?
Very little supplies in them. The basics, some provisions. Not enough to stock for a full family, but if you're talking just servants who'd keep the place up, enough for them. You can move them around and do some exploration, but besides finding bushels of apples, pears, peaches, and plums, some dried meats, and other things of that sort, many spices, nothing really stands out as exceptional in that area.
It's a
Okay,
little
I
spicy.
just want to like look behind and underneath them, but okay. Sounds like they're movable.
Glancing and tossing them around, you don't find anything hidden around them, unfortunately. No secret passages waiting to get you.
What you want us to think?
While they're all doing this, I would like to, since the house can be... I'll go to one side of the house, detect magic, and then go to the other side of the house and detect magic.
Just a heads up, I believe I have Thievery trained, so if you let me know about the padlock, I can try to unlock it.
Eventually, I will let you know when I run into you again.
Got you. I'll say it out loud so that you guys can help me remember next session. You won't, because you won't be here, but everyone else can help.
I was about to make that joke.
You know what's going to happen? You're going to walk out of this place, and the guard's going to walk up and just look at John's character and be like, "You there! Fuck you." I still laugh at that one-liner. Now, they're going to take your character and say, "We have more questions." That would at least have a way to get you out for the campaign temporarily. Gives you a few weeks of vacation. Oh, what's up?
Oh, I was just about to ask, is there anything at the bottom of the well?
Well.
Well. As you peer down and look, one thing actually would stand out for you. You may even pick a rock up and toss it down out of curiosity, because at first you're pretty sure you don't see any water down there. And a quick toss of a rock, because, I said as a point of reference, but let's be honest, if you see a big hole and you're a guy, you generally drop something in it. You all know what I'm saying. It's like you see a beautiful sheet of ice on top of the water, and you have a big stone in your hands. You go and break it.
Yep.
Girls are not immune to this.
No, women definitely are not. Definitely not immune to this either. You see a beautiful puddle with a beautiful frozen sheen over top of it, and you're walking on the street. Do you take the 2.5 foot step to the right so you can tramp and break it? Yes, you do.
Absolutely, I do.
It goes crick, and it's the best thing. You're like, look at that go. All right. No wonder kids like to break and destroy things. It's in our nature, because it's fun.
One of my favorite pastimes when we'd be waiting for the bus, because we had like when we were growing up, we had like a paved driveway, but at the end, like the pavement was so old that it was all gravel at the end, so we had all kinds of little potholes at the end of our driveway, and I used to stand at the end of the driveway and wait for the bus, and when the weather was cold, one of my favorite things to do while I was waiting for the bus to come would be to just find those like little holes and stomp down the ice, and it was so great. Better than a cup of coffee in the morning.
I still love doing that.
Oh, same, me too.
Just so we're on the same page.
Yeah, I get it.
Have it go a little brown and sepia coated for the coloration on this one as we're recording, and you just see it says a Canadian heritage moment across the top for that one, Jillian. Oh, I felt it. Jeez, I got a flashback to being a kiddo for a second there.
When I was a young man.
Oh. Well,
I'm going to say thank you for the game here and run, because I got to get up in 5 hours.
Yeah,
I forgot you had to dip really quickly.
The info I'll leave, just so you have it, Dan. That well doesn't have any water in it. That rock hits the bottom with a clack. And you know it's empty. No water at all.
Mm-hmm.
What are we going to do, guys?
We're going to go down the well.
Yeah.
We're going to cast light on a rock and throw it down the well.
Yes!
And then we're going the well.
I was playing Baldur's Gate 3, and the first well I saw, I was like, I'm going down that.
Well.
God damn it, I was right.
Well, that's going to be
damn that moth.
Then. If that's okay with you, Dan, you'd be walking over like, no water in the well, just conveniently since we're low on time. And you just drop a glowing rock, and you're like, well, let's see what the hell's down there.
Oh, if you guys want to keep going, by all means. It's just, I gotta go to sleep.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm also tired, so
we're all in that boat. We
Got a
gotta
big
be.
day tomorrow.
it's getting
Holy
late.
shit.
Yeah, best
it's
of
not
luck.
big at
John.
all. It's only the birth of a child. It's fine.
Oh my
It's fine.
god.
You say that now, but after 3 days of no sleep, man. Oh goodness. I hope it goes nice and smooth for you, though. In all seriousness, I'll cut the recording here for that one.